Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the other Consolation bracket semifinals between Micha1980 and Sirusc. I am joined by Sirusc,
Hello.
and we'll be commentating this match to see who faces off against Anders in the finals of our Consolation bracket.
This is a pretty spicy squirrel board, I would say.
Yeah, so many villages really helps make the
take death card to get just as many squirrels as you could ever possibly want.
Yeah, and if people start doing that, then the 3 pile is just almost immediate.
Yeah, with engineer especially as well.
We'll see if they do that. If they don't touch the death cards, it could maybe, I mean, it would still probably be headed for a 3 pile, but it might go a little longer. We'll see if they.
Death cards is really nice, so you can green at some point and have money when you're ready to end the game.
That's true. It's true. Yeah, I don't know how much you get to do market square stuff here. There's a few different ones, or a couple different ways, but you'd have to lose your precious squirrels with the death card for one of them.
That's true. Well, you could get it off engineer pops. That's maybe more likely.
We already have an exchange in chat. I don't know.
Yeah, this is not a good sign for civil.
At least they're smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, this really is just it's just very classic draw and village. And then payload would be money and buy.
Yeah, I'm never really sure what's the best way to go about getting all the scroll stuff up and reliable, I guess, quickly.
Misha did have the turn 1 necro, so that helped a good amount because they got to open with the emissary here. The curses will certainly be a pain, both the points and the fact that there's no way to get rid of them. So definitely a curse split or a curse lead here could swing the game pretty hard. And maybe could even, well, it would be hard to run it actually would be hard to run the curses before the other stuff goes, but maybe with Menstrual it works, or it happens.
Yeah, Menstrual definitely helps with the emissary activations.
So Sirusc so far is just opting for buying ports rather than picking up an engineer, just I guess as a way to get in more squirrels faster, which seems reasonable, though it kind of feels like to me you want an engineer at some point.
Yeah, I would guess they're gonna try and draw the deck first and then add the engineer, which is probably a reasonable way to go about it.
I guess for me at the start, the draw doesn't reward you with that much, right? I mean, you're just trying to hit 4 really, or 5, five maybe once, and then after that, you're pretty okay with just hitting 4. So I would have been inclined to put in an engineer before for probably both of the players at this point.
I mean, I know what you mean, but on the scroll boards, it gets complicated, right? Because you need to always spend turns setting up your draw, and if you let that lapse, then you have to build it back up again.
That's true. It is a little bit, can be a little bit fragile. Sirusc opts for the Highwayman, which I think to me it looked pretty clearly worse than the Emissary.
Yeah, I mean it's just a big squirrel.
Yeah. Because the treasure attack doesn't mean much here.
It seems pretty irrelevant, yeah.
Sirusc gets to curse now, or not Sirusc. Micha will get to curse on their next turn. Thanks to the Necropolis, actually, which is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't actually matter. It's Emissary.
Oh yeah, because of the action, right? Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry, Necropolis. I was trying to. You're already doing enough here.
Yeah, it puts it work. It's a good Necropolis board for sure. This seems like a pretty reasonable time for Sirusc to add an engineer. They'll have the Highwayman going down next turn.
Mm-hmm. Take Emissary. Oh no.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, so for those watching, if you didn't catch it, you gotta play the Emissary first. That's actually really kind of a huge miss. At least in terms of how bad misses get on this board.
So people just want to play a nice, friendly game of Dominion without mean cursing.
Yeah.
I would say I think Micha is still in a nice position here.
I agree. It always starts to worry me if they don't see it once, maybe they're not gonna see it multiple times.
Yeah.
But I agree as far as the decks, like if I had to pick which player's deck to pick up at this point, I'd take Micha's. But I do get a little worried about the play.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they just missed probably that they were going to get the +1 action, and so they thought, well, I mean, then you'd play the Necropolis first. Yeah, I'm not really sure what went on there, but
yeah. Yeah, not to read too much into it, but like if you're at the point where you bought the Emissary, surely you gotta be looking for.
I mean, I would respect buying Emissary over Patrol just because of dislike of having to look at the top 4 cards of your deck.
Emissary art's a little nicer, maybe too.
That's true. It does have nice art.
I think you squirrel that port.
Yeah.
There's not really. I mean, you could find the Emissary. That's really the only thing you could draw there that would be a big upside. You already had $5, aka $4. I mean, Minstrel. Oh, they were in debt too, so maybe they didn't. Market Square would have been okay though. Took some water the wrong way. This turn will be a real tell as far as Micha and the emissaries.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
That's gonna be the real make or break on that. The Highwayman giving you an emissary activation is kind of cute.
Yeah, that's true. It's although I mean, if you get to there's not really too many ways to get to the end of the deck without having an opportunity to play the engineer.
Yeah. Though I mean, I guess there's some chance it gets you a double activation, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. That's possible.
Though not like at this stage in the game. That's not too likely. But we've seen the ports. I wonder if this is a spot where you. I'm kind of wondering about auto taking the ports there, but probably fine.
Kind of liked
You
blowing up.
You could have thought about Death Cart too.
Yeah.
I don't know where exactly that would have left you as far as actions, but.
This way does not really seem to get you very much other than just the ports.
No. I don't know how many more squirrel plays it gets you, if any different. It may just be like a similar amount. But maybe
they had 2 squirrel plays in hand, I think.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking if there was like gain and play possible, but if there wasn't gain and play, then I'm okay with the ports, I think.
Well, I mean, they could have gained and played a gold plus, you know, some other utility things on there.
A gold.
Well, if they blew up the engineer.
Hmm. Okay, they did do the emissary correctly that time. Now I would certainly take Sirusc's deck. I think.
Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty sad bottom deck for Micha here with 5 ports there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like here they can get the double emissary activation. Though I guess they had enough engineers to get there anyway. This does feel kind of tricky to figure out what to do at the end of these turns.
Mm-hmm.
As far as whether you're doing death carts or market square activations or what mix of those things, and it seems pretty tough actually.
Yeah, and having some overdraw, but not a ton of overdraw.
Mm-hmm. It's just everything can be like actions or draw, and there's a lot of things may be terminal or not terminal. So it seems pretty tough to get it right or get it perfect. You can probably get close. So Sirusc has picked up the death cart, so it can have potentially a lot of squirrels here. So might opt to get a little more money.
Yeah, it does look nice to play the death cart for not squirrel purposes.
Yeah. Just costs you another squirrel too.
Yeah, but you get, you know, I mean, you get to buy, you can buy a draw card with your 5 money, and then your head on that axis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems very reasonable here to trash something by Market Square Emissary.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. You just engineer for a minstrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks reasonable. Maybe even an engineer rather than a market square.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good too.
You're like pretty rapidly approaching. If you have the third engineer, you're almost there as far as the pile out. I mean, you might just be there if you get any rune markets. It may be better. Maybe, I mean, if you don't think Misha has threat on the next turn, maybe double engineer.
Yeah. That's not crazy.
I don't like the gold gain at all.
No, I mean, what are you gonna buy here? A province or something? That seems pretty loose.
Well, I didn't love that, but I mean, it's probably still winning.
Yeah, but I
Especially,
mean, think about, you have to think about the specs of these situations.
yeah.
We would much rather see, you know, some crazy thing with gaining 8 death carts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Misha's just not even anywhere near through deck, actually. I mean, closer than it looks because there's an emissary down there, but still, it's just not gonna. Not gonna run. It'd be a little sad if Sirusc does just buy 2 provinces here and just wins with 6 provinces or whatever.
It seems headed that way. I don't know.
Yeah, it does look more like that. I guess Misha might resign. I don't know how to say either of these.
Kansas 6 provinces.
Yeah, I don't know how either of these names are actually supposed to be pronounced. So, but
Yeah, me neither. We'll just have to.
make do.
Yep. Misha, I'm pretty sure is supposed to be pronounced Misha.
There's that deck. They probably ought to have put the. Isn't Necro a squirrel like just strictly bad? Worse than Necro as village here? Guess if you're blowing up all the ruins, it's not, but why would you do that?
Yeah, that's true. It does just seem worse.
Well, I dislike this, but kind of knew it was coming.
It was predictable. I think probably the thing to do, since they're buy limited, is to try and engineer enough death carts that you can pile the silvers using Masterpiece.
They had, yeah. They played Necro's Village. I'm just still thinking about the end of that last turn. They could have used Engineer to gain a Minstrel and still played their other rune they had in hand as Squirrel and had the same number of squirrels and just have a free Minstrel. Or free relative to what they did. Anyway. This is a sort of depressing amount of payload being brought to bear by that much draw.
Yeah. And they have so much free terminal space that, you know, it would be great to turn into squirrels.
Yeah. They just don't even have and they have an actual full dud here.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Sirusc would benefit a lot from more minstrels in this deck.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they'll just take their 5th province and be still relatively happy about it all.
There's probably a case for just, you know, squirreling all this by province, road network, or emissary, or whatever.
Yeah. Probably the last 3 provinces will have to be bought one at a time. It looks sort of unlikely for them to double again. So basically take gain in play, but their draw is gone at this point. So they're just two piling, I guess. I don't fully.
They decided that it would take way too long to actually
It is
buy
kind
all
of
those
funny.
3 provinces one by one.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, they have no engineers now, so it's not like they're gonna empty death carts either.
No. Like now this is basically a move to say I am going to buy them one at a time. But I think it's a move that says I'm going to buy them one at a time more slowly than I would have if I had just squirreled my engineers.
Well, more slowly, but with less clicking. So
that's true.
You know,
that's true. You should like pretty clearly squirrel the survivors and just blow up both the death cards there. In my opinion. But
this game state is so one that I have no ability to evaluate what should be happening.
I never stop. Can't turn it off. Well, sometimes. That's probably useful, not just in the useful to be able to turn it off. I mean, Misha does
Yeah,
get
I
to
mean, I don't know.
curse again.
It's not really a matter of turning it off. That's just always how it works.
I meant for me, like if it's the default for me to do the other thing,
Yeah,
it would be
yeah.
useful for me to be able to turn it off. On the board. Oh, see, we didn't even get to our single province here.
I mean, we can see what we draw off this ruined library.
That's true. There is still a gold in the deck, I believe. So it was technically possible. And I guess there was a village and an emissary left, so with an even more sequence dependent thing, it was possible that way too. I wonder if Misha actually was given enough of a window to make like at least like a pretend comeback, but probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like going back the few turns to when Sirusc first provinced. Just gained 4 golds. Very nice.
Yep. Beautiful, beautiful.
Love it. I will say you should not open the game with asking your opponent if they're gonna start and then play out the game to the point where you're trashing your engineer to gain 4 golds and
You know, they just have. I mean, I don't want to speak to their motivation, but you know,
I mean I love the gold gains. This is a great log moment, but
yeah, for sure.
it's the combination, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's in hand. Hooray. Cyrus gets points for taking it as soon as possible.
Yep. I don't know what was the most stylish thing to trash to the death cart.
Maybe the Highwayman?
I was thinking of the Highwayman, yeah.
Style points are tough because, you know, it's like sometimes it feels right, but it's just too obvious, or, you know, it's.
Yeah.
It's an art.
A matter of taste, for sure.
Yeah. I don't think it was a port. There's something to be said for trashing the death card itself, I think.
That's true. It's not like a terrible, you know, decision.
But my gut would say Highwayman. Well, we go from lots and lots of plus action to basically none.
Depends on how you want to call gamble, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not great at spotting gamble tricks. I don't know if there's anything super exciting here.
When gambling looks, I mean, it looks good if you're going to try and play the golden deck, but I don't think the golden deck works. So, well, I mean, yeah.
Obviously, you need to bounty hunter liveries and then buy a livery so you get them in the discard. And then gamble so you can get multiple liveries in play.
That's what we call it, engine.
Yeah. You don't get to do it very many times, but you might be able to have 3 liveries in play once.
Well, then you can start doing it on barbarians.
That's true. Barbarian could be, it could do some stuff here.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Not sure if I play barbarian or livery as my terminal.
I mean, I guess like sort of depends where they're at, but $5 action down to bounty hunter isn't that great. Or might be a little annoying at certain points. They have like gold. I mean, the thing about like the money stuff is like you have quite a bit on the ladder as far as going down.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't get.
I mean, definitely like killing vampire is the
right. Yeah, that would be the big win. I marked an M on the scoreboard, though it was not an M. It was an S. Herb gatherer. I don't know.
I mean, there's like some stuff in the pile you want.
It's just so bad right now unless you draw it at the right times.
Yeah, I mean that's always how it is, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean sometimes you buy it later, I guess. Not that often.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But like as an opener, sure, it's definitely gonna always live or die by that.
Mm-hmm.
Both players get the bounty hunter estate draw.
This feels like one of those boards where you get vampire and then eventually at some point you're just using vampire to shove random crap into your deck.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be messy.
I guess it's not the worst thing to shove a bunch of random crap into your deck on a board with fairgrounds.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something to be said for having a deck that's big enough that it can hold multiple terminals here.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I keep looking and I'm afraid there's some big thing you can do, but kind of think you can't.
I mean, I just really want to get thin, like really, really fast.
Yeah.
And buy green cards and put them on my exile mat.
Yeah.
This looks like a really nice gamble.
Will they see it? Nope. It would be real sad to reveal the vampire.
That's true.
This is actually, yeah, I don't really hate the Acolyte.
I mean, it seems nice to get the gold.
Yeah. I mean, if you draw it in this hand, there are quite a few hands where you could have drawn it and it would have been pretty bad, but
yeah,
they got the draw for it. Gold's certainly useful here.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's as worth it as Sirusc, just because they don't, have control over whether the pile ever goes to Sybil.
Yeah. But if Micha friendly decides to be friendly and flip it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna manually lower it using acolytes.
That's one way to play it.
And then Misha's, and then it got flipped for them. So Misha does have 5 here, so we'll get to buy Sorceress. Oh, but so does Sirusc. I mean, the cursing looks like
Yeah.
it could be a little annoying, though it looks kind of hard to actually give the curses.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, the sorceress is fine. I would definitely prefer to rotate here and go and take a Sybil.
That's true. I can see that. Let's say Sirusc buys the last or gains the last sorceress. If you're Misha and your first sorceress play draws money, do you bounty hunter the other sorceress for a Sybil?
I don't think so. I wouldn't say I'm feeling in danger of
Not getting one.
like losing the split.
The choice wasn't available. They didn't find cash.
I probably would have done is try to butterfly my sorceress into Sybil and watch as that doesn't work.
When you first started saying that, I believed you. I believed it would work. You had me convinced, and I would not have realized it until you. They can get Sybil here and another gold. Do you lose your herb gatherer?
I would lose the herb gatherer. I do not feel too much urge to gather many herbs.
Trade herb gatherer for gold.
Yeah, it seems very reasonable to me.
You can always get a charm. This was an unfortunate time to draw 2 sorceresses for Sirusc
Yeah.
in front of both the Sybils.
Well, they can try to butterfly one and to gain a Sybil.
I think the Sybils will be. Oh no, there's 2 under there. Never mind. No, I don't like this too much.
Yeah, this is real bad. What are you saving that Acolyte for? Acolyte.
Maybe they thought Herb Gatherer was like Courier. I sort of think Herb Gatherer should be like Courier.
I mean, that would definitely make it better. Which I don't think it's very close to being too strong.
I think we could live in that world.
Yeah. I mean, I do respect that, that's something that's like making Courier special.
Yeah. That's true. Well, yeah, and they're in the same. No wait, is Courier in that set?
I think so, yeah.
Or is it a 2E? I've lost track of 2Es versus allies now. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Maybe if they were in different sets it would be easier to justify. Man, Misha still having this acolyte is rough.
Yeah, it's really not doing great things in this hand, other than being trashed to gain a Sybil.
Now there's only the one Sybil left. Ooh. If you don't get this one, you're just not getting one.
I mean, maybe they don't want one. They have gained 2 Wayfarers, which seems to indicate something.
Misha's going to end up with like 7 or 8 of the curses.
What's your strategy for deciding Sybil top decks in this situation?
I don't know. I don't play with Sybil very much at all. It is quite rare that I've played a game where I got this, or I don't remember a lot of games where I got this Sybil. I'm sure it's happened. Just a big herb gatherer and acolyte hater.
I mean, I'm also definitely an herb gatherer hater, but I have got beaten up enough by the herb gatherer Sybil synergy enough times now to realize that, like, if it's a board where you're going to be getting Sybils, you probably want the herb gatherer too at some point.
This is definitely a nice board for them because of there's just no way it's ending anytime soon.
Yeah.
So trudging through that pile is like super good. Which I didn't really have on my radar at all because I just tend to ignore the pile. But looks quite important. You don't really need 2 bounty hunters, do you?
At this point, I would say that you don't.
Yeah, I'd be setting aside the other bounty hunter just for a better cashier. Probably taking the charm.
Well, you could butterfly the bounty hunter. Is maybe better than taking the money.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair. You don't really have a great... I guess you can just trash 1 copper. I was going to say there's not really a great $4 buy anymore. You could just trash 1 with bat.
Yeah. I think that'd be fine.
I'm thinking you're looking for like charm and livery now.
Yeah, I'm still not sure about livery versus barbarian.
Yeah. I guess I feel like you've like with the curses that you're like okay on that front as far as having their deck be really bad.
That's true, but I mean, it can always get worse.
It's true. I would
like,
I would wait until they've trashed some of the curses. Like until the barbarian hits are more likely to be on bad stuff
Yeah.
or on good stuff.
I mean, I'm not saying that like the barbarian is doing amazing things. I'm just not really sure, how much having a little bit more draw is going to help you here.
Yeah,
Like you're just going to be out of stop cards before long.
that's true. You might as well gamble around to the. Well, I don't know what the bottom card is, but I don't think silver is doing much.
Hmm.
The only way silver is going to start to do anything is if you had buy. Otherwise, you're hitting your price point anyway. Or the silver is actually more likely to make you miss doing stuff than to help you do more stuff.
I guess maybe Misha's idea is to try and do some sort of Wayfarer Fiat thing at this point.
Look, this silver. This is the silver's fault.
Yeah, 100%.
Pretty clearly. I wish it had been punished.
I mean, it was punished in the sense that probably Sirusc felt some small amount of uncertainty.
Right. Had that fear. But they
Exactly.
also got to experience the joy, of the reveal.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true.
I'm still mixed on it. It maybe it cost them a cursing. That's possible. No, not
Yeah, that's true.
on
That's
this
true.
seed exactly, but in some universe. The gamble to remove the copper is pretty cute.
Second barbarian is. I guess this is their plan to use the Sybil as a village.
Mm-hmm. I would be. I still do like the liveries. Because it does, I mean, well, for one thing, livery is friendlier with gamble as far as just netting you money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that doesn't matter I mean, that really doesn't matter at this point, but I think it should. I think at some point you have plus buy.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna play with multiple terminals, then I think for sure some of them want to be liveries. This is pretty nice though with the Sybils and the gambling. I did not see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me neither. That's what I'm thinking, Tracer, is it's like you're destroying a deck that's already pretty bad.
Maybe it's revenge for the four gold gains off the engineer last
That's
game.
true. Could be. Don't stop playing barbarians till you hit their bat or vampire. You're just gonna get it. You're gonna get a lot of curse flips, and eventually, you're gonna be trashing their curses for them.
Mm-hmm.
And like here, you're gonna choose not to play sorceress, I guess. So
Yeah,
it's kind of, I don't know, the deck size does not quite match what it wants to do exactly. Though that's hard to manage here, to be fair. That's not like, it's not going to be uncommon with the three Sibyls.
yeah, it's definitely not something where you can just easily set up sort of indefinite cards on the bottom of your deck.
You could also pretty easily here just score. I guess you don't really need to, though, with Bounty Hunter. I was going to say you could do investment stuff if you wanted to, too.
That's true.
But
Maybe,
it doesn't look super different from buying a green card and putting it on the mat.
yeah, and I mean, it's going to tax your sort of non-existent extra gains here.
Yeah. I am imagining a deck that has. Well, yeah, at this stage, definitely it would not be good. I'm imagining a deck that has a lot more gains than this one, but also if Misha is as resignation averse as he was in the first game, this is a annoying game to end actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can do one or two provinces at a time probably. Is likely the fastest way to finish here.
Yeah, there's really not much else.
Like the curses are going, but that's the only thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you could run herb gatherers, but like, I don't know.
And just to be clear, I don't think anyone owes anyone a resignation or whatever. It's fine. They play the game. I don't wanna ruffle any feathers anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, if they're having fun, like they should play as much as they want, obviously.
Yeah, like one fairgrounds at a time, that does not end the game. That is
Maybe they're just both having a lot of fun playing Dominion today.
the single fairgrounds is a thing that super doesn't end the game. I hope Misha's here. Okay, there they are. Maybe they just no, they didn't cancel. Maybe Misha's deck has enough like high value actions that the bounty hunters and herb gatherers can run. I don't know that it does.
Yeah, I mean, the Wayfarers will be worth 0 soon. Or, I mean, the Wayfarers will stop being worth 0
Right,
soon.
right. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Unfortunately, we lost one at 0, so that didn't help us.
Yeah. I gotta say that deck that we got to look at does not look good.
No. Sybil is sort of clicky to play through too. At least you can just stop guessing on sorceresses.
Mm.
Or you can. Or I guess it doesn't even ask you. Maybe it doesn't ask you to guess.
No, it doesn't ask you.
Okay.
It breaks the rules of Dominion, which tell you that you have to name a card.
Steph's not a purist. Alright, we have a charm that's sort of exciting, except it doesn't matter now.
We can enjoy the art.
It's incredible.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like wonderfully executed, but I do appreciate the floating icosahedron thing.
Right. Like you would, if that was a real thing, you would want one.
Yeah, exactly. I would love one.
We can commission one.
I have to look into that.
There isn't nearly enough Dominion cosplay centered around recreating Dominion art.
That's true.
Though there
I
is.
think.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was
Yeah.
just saying. Like the bounty hunter woman, for example, would be great.
Yeah. There is fortunately plenty of Dominion art mimicking cosplay.
Yes, we haven't completed the circle yet.
Oh, the Phenom. That's it. All right. So Sirusc is on to the provinces now, which means we should have about 6 turns left in this game. Because
I believe in them. I think they can get through it in the 6 turns.
Yeah. I just don't think the 3 piles happening.
No.
You should really just probably not even gain anything with Vampire. Oh, we did get a Wayfarer hit though. Why are they gambling?
Yeah, they're gonna make us eat our words about this being over in 6 turns.
Though we get another Wayfarer hit. Though that isn't really helping
Sure.
us that much because it's just going to Barbarians. I don't think
It helps us in the sense that it encourages Misha to buy more Wayfarers.
Yeah. There we get the friendly curse trashing. I thought for sure they were just going to buy Province and... Oh, now Misha can't even buy a Wayfarer. Curse you, vampire. This is where we need like a poll, you know, spec chat poll. Like, who do you blame more? We don't have to blame anybody, but if we had to.
Who are we blaming for what?
Oh, just for the game.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna blame Herb Gatherer.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Steph is always a good answer too, but
Yeah, definitely Steph is an option.
maybe we will give the 3 pile.
It's getting closer.
It's like a roller coaster for me on will they, won't they. It just keeps. It feels like Micha is going AFK, which is not helping the barbarian situation.
Yeah, there's some long thinks on the barbarian choices for sure.
Maybe the fairgrounds plus bounty hunter pile out isn't so much worse than the bounty or the province one at this point.
I mean, Sirusc seems very unmotivated to actually like hit 8 and buy provinces, so I think I agree that it's more likely that that's how it ends.
Yeah, just gotta shift the hope.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering how many turns would the game have to go in order for the Fiat strategy to catch up?
We've got a nice X.
Yeah.
See, this is where we start to lose the threads of the golden deck, though, right? Like, they're just, it may not ever really be reestablished at this point. So then things,
Yeah.
The points gap is probably too big to matter, but the deck control is going to be just gone.
Yeah, like this turn is not looking great in that sense.
Yeah.
I guess I'll get to play all their stuff.
But you don't have enough cards in hand to get to do the. Well, yeah, I guess you can, if you bounty hunter like bat, you can bounty hunter bat in fairgrounds and still hit 6. Well, more than that, but if you decide to keep the bat, you'd have to exile the bounty hunter at this point. Oh, there was another card even. It's still silver. Interesting. I'm not.
That's a beautiful sequence of events there.
The thing is, Misha has 2 Fiatum buys in this hand too.
Mm-hmm.
If they recognize and exile a silver, which I think they should like pretty clearly do. The barbarians are kind of actively becoming friendly to Misha.
Yeah, I mean, Misha had way too many Wayfarers, anyways, in my opinion, at least.
See if Misha takes the double Fiatum, which to me looks like the clear play. All right. Looking good for it.
Mm-hmm.
Little afraid of Gold Fairgrounds, which I think is not the play. Province, I think, is closer to the play than Gold Fairgrounds. Okay.
So maybe we'll get the ending on Fiatum, which we were not, not even really discussing.
No, I didn't have that on the bingo card. All right, maybe Sirusc is just back into golden deck territory with the big trashing turn.
Mm-hmm.
Triple Fiatum.
That would be the fastest way out.
Guess they did charm for charm power, so I guess they're doing Gold Fairgrounds. Is the Barbarian gain optional?
No.
Why does it not just because Wayfarer. Okay. Got it. I was wondering why it wasn't auto gaining Herb Gather. All right, we do get the Fairgrounds Gold, which is not game ending direction. I guess slightly. And Kane's livery. Okay. Got that livery.
I feel like it's probably correct to take a Fiatum there.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It's a little weird just because none of it is moving the needle. I was just trying to find something 2 turns ago to pretend that something in this game could not end in a really slow 3-pile win for Sirusc. Really, the bad has got to be less useful than anything else in that hand. Double feed him. Do it. Double feed him. Come on. Then you just have to do those Wayfarers easy.
Yeah. We're not getting there, I guess.
Were those the counts, JC Thress? Yeah, that. Now, I don't know if we went out on time, but you might be right as far as turns. It might pan out better this way. All right, we got another Fairgrounds. That is making it not look like it's going to make it out turn-wise.
No.
think you pretty much
Well,
needed it.
it could have still got there if the barbarian killing the vampire hurt, because if there was a vampire on top of the deck here, then Misha could have taken 2 Fiata, and then we would just be some Wayfarer gains away from the end.
That is true. Is there any reason not to like play the sorceresses before the Sibyls?
I think the reason is that it's just sort of bad habit, since in general you want to play your sorceress after your Sybil.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of like search depth, obviously you want to play it the other way.
I'm super confused. Oh, please, you don't need you don't need undos for this. Um, I am I
Oh,
am I am super confused though about the both of bounty hunter and barbarian into all this gamble stuff. Like,
see, some games, you get to learn things about Dominion. This game, we just get to learn things about the players.
this is like
So
fully.
just really, really likes attacking.
Yeah, I mean, I can support that. Right, bounty hunter down. Give the buys, but we haven't actually gotten the Wayfarers cheap enough to be useful at all. Got a duchy buy. It's the worst thing for us possible. All right, what do we got here? Ooh. So we can get a Wayfarer here. And then the win is in hand. No, wait, no, Wayfarer costs too much. Why does Wayfarer have to cost so much? They didn't
I
even
mean,
they didn't even take
you
it.
but everyone just wants this game to keep going.
They didn't even. This has got to be win in hand on bounty hunters, right? Well, not if you just throw the green away. What is.
What's happening here?
Please. Please. Just play bounty hunter. Just play bounty hunter on a duchy and buy the things. I'm begging. Okay, okay.
That works.
That works.
All right. 21 turns, exactly as long
Server.
as it took to end on
They
provinces.
broke the server too.
No, I'm still in.
Well, I got destroyed somehow. All right. That's now 2-0 for Sirusc. Heading into game 3. a game which I would also guess should be a 3-pile, but who
Yeah,
knows?
I mean, it looks like it should go fast, but
There aren't any attacks.
that's true.
We have some accelerating things.
You can play bishop and hope your opponent trashes something from their hand. That's sort of like an attack.
Mm-hmm. Just open Groom Silver.
I would open Groom Bonfire.
Yeah. I kind of like giving myself a shot at Sanctuary.
Yeah, this doesn't seem unreasonable.
Changes the angles a bit here. Like, surely then you're grooming for silvers? Your Misha here?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I groom for Anvil. Anvil looks reasonable.
Hey, could you Anvil? It's sort of the like accessible stuff doesn't actually do that much. You know, like the 4s are like they're good 4s, but they don't do anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sana does something.
Yeah. Kamisha goes for the Anvil. I do feel like they're like doing angles that get the sanctuaries maybe a little slower than I'd like.
Do you need Sanctuary though? I mean,
you don't have to, but
I was thinking you just take a Sana and a silver.
there's the yeah. Um hmm. I'm kind of more into like doing one more bonfire and having a sanctuary than like worrying about saunas. Maybe the saunas are faster. You don't have to have this. I guess for me, like you don't have to have the saunas for either of the things sauna does.
Yeah. No, I mean it's not necessary. But like you don't need Blessed Village for any of the things that it does either. So I guess the question is like why did you open Groom?
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me if there was some way to like rush estates and whatever on this kingdom.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine once you have draw going, you want a ton of grooms. They're just not close to that. Okay, they both take sanctuary. I'm Blessed Village for sure here.
Yeah.
I really would dislike a sauna buy. Though it looks kind of unlikely that Misha gets the... I really don't like the silvers.
No, those silvers look bad. Well, I mean, how bad are they? You want to hit 7?
They're not like terrible, but I don't like them. I don't.
I would prefer. Sorry, yeah.
Now here, I think you do take the Ivana, especially you're on the shuffle here. So don't 100% don't use anvil power.
But you could hit, Field's Gift or something, and then you're just getting a free blessing.
You're right. I got real nervous the order that was played.
I mean, they were thinking about it for sure.
It was real scary, actually. So, nice for Misha that Sirusc doesn't hit the 7 here. Though they also, I guess, had the Field's Gift Force gift out.
I think I would have gone for it there. Like, I don't really care very much about exiling that copper. I would try and see if I could get it.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
maybe,
I can believe
maybe
that.
Just groom for a state here, right? Like, you're pretty likely to get there.
That's yeah. Is the estate the only? Well, what do you have? You have like 1/4 chance. Or sorry, 3/4 chance of hitting. Well, no, because how many? There's an estate in there, and there's some saunas, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
Maybe it's more like
it may be
50-50
or something. I don't even know what the the money situation is there.
All right. Well, maybe going for the Blessed Village then is better. Yeah.
Maybe it was 2 silvers, so maybe it was 2/3 shot.
Yeah, I guess just because 4 silvers, so.
Misha doesn't find Misha grooms for an estate, which I think is not correct.
Yeah, that one I definitely didn't like.
You draw pretty bad. Their shuffle with their Avanta went pretty miserably bad. Because they don't even if they had an Avanta in this hand, they didn't have any of the saunas at that point. So that was pretty rough. So it's looking like a 3-2 on the Avantas for Sirusc. So, I mean, yeah, they don't have to take 2, but wouldn't be crazy to take a Mastermind.
Or 2 Grand Markets.
Yeah, that's true. You can wait. There would be some risk of I guess they're not really likely to get all of the Avantas. Or maybe probably not possible. I don't know what. So there's one silver and what's the other card? They have 2 saunas.
Sauna? They have 2 saunas. No, this was a copper.
It's copper. So it is 4-1 on the saunas, I guess. Well, in that case, you didn't really need the 2 more silvers.
Yeah.
Versus just a Blessed Village, and you might have top decked a horse or something. I'd be thinking at least a little bit about doing draw into mass grooms more than worrying about grand markets, but there's probably a window where that gets just beat up if the grand markets get going.
I mean, I sort of liked taking grand market and like this turn stonemasoning it into 2 masterminds and playing them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they have the drawn actions for that, but maybe. Certainly they could have played
if
ready.
they had been able to, if they hadn't taken 2 silvers last turn, I think they could have. If they took a blessed instead, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. This does empty the Avantos if you want.
I'm pretty surprised Micha did not take an Avanto last turn.
Yeah, gold looks pretty awful. If you had like a stonemason in your deck, it would look less awful, but
yeah, I mean, I guess they can groom for stonemason.
Yeah. Anders, we can't start that already on this side. We got to nip that in the bud right now. We just can't have it. We're trying to keep the consolation bracket pure. I actually don't think like the turn by turn thing. It's mostly been like, how do you end the game?
Yeah, I don't think the decision
as far
times
as game length
have been bad really at all. Yeah.
No, I don't think they've been egregious at all. I mean, like the deck Sirusc is playing the previous game is like clicky. It's like very clicky, and you don't want to like mess it up on some stupid little thing. Which, I mean, like they had plenty of slack, so it probably wasn't an issue. But it just lasts a long time because there wasn't a clear path to game in, which there didn't have to be. There was a pretty clear path to having a points lead by the end of the game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. If Misha was bothered, then they definitely could have resigned. It would. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know here. So, Quantum Mastermind.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would have really wanted to use an anvil and one of those coppers that got trashed to like get another groom.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like losing the stonemason so quickly.
Yeah.
So maybe this turn, these, the direction here for Sirusc's deck I like. It's just, and it was kind of like that in a couple of the other games too. It's like the draws there, and then they kind of let it get away from them as they're doing the middle part,
Hmm.
and it doesn't seem like you quite get the some of the gain in play or just control that would let you dominate it a little more clearly. Though this, I mean, again, the lead looks.
Yeah, they're way ahead, but yeah, for sure we could quibble about like some of the micro decisions. I mean, this is definitely the kind of board where like, you have to be careful. Like,
Absolutely. If you don't have like the if your score is close, I mean, you could miss a 3 pile from your opponent.
yeah, and even if the score isn't close, I mean, there's ways to score off of
Yeah.
crazy stonemason stuff too.
This is actually like rapidly approaching a scary amount of lowering.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if there was something here for Misha.
Yeah, though I think you would have to have. You're gonna have to have the Avanto be closer, so I think you would probably need to stack the deck a little bit
Yeah.
on average, or to get it there most of the time. Because there's just not
I mean,
there's no draw here hardly.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, it obviously doesn't work at this point, but
Yeah. But also Sirusc's deck has like enough stop cards that you could just draw a dud, you know? So it is the kind of
mhm.
situation where you're far enough behind that Misha's best bet here is almost certainly lowering the piles and putting themselves into a position where they can 3 pile and win if like all Cyrus can do is buy province or something.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't have any problem at all with these grand market lowering. I think the bishop is probably should be a groom. And you should maybe try and figure out a way to get like a Vanto, but this should be a super easy pile out.
Yeah, it's probably in hand at this point. How many piles do you think you get here? At least four, maybe five.
Yeah. There's not a lot of draw though.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't look like maybe we get to overdraw, in which case.
And definitely would be my complaint here is not trying to put neither deck got into a spot to do gain and play, which is I think pretty bad on this board.
Mhm. Yeah, you could really go nuts. Like once you start gaining and playing the masterminds.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't even need more than like one turn of that with masterminds. Getting
Yeah,
down,
like
getting down.
if you put down a couple of them, you're probably have enough gas to end it.
Mm-hmm. I've reconnected to this game 3 times. Return to lobby, I guess. I don't know. Getting some weird stuff today. But I got in.
This one's funny because you get Sycophant Woodworkers Guild and there's just no good actions.
I forgot to shout out Misha for being a top 4 league in the number of seasons played with 48.
That's impressive.
So
yeah.
a long stint was one of the ones, or actually, and their 48 is in a row. So it's from season 6 onward.
They've played a lot of World Cups too. I've definitely watched them in that format a lot.
Okay, here we have, what is Woodworkers Guild? I feel like Woodworkers Guild is one of the like worst allies.
I don't know if I'd call it the worst, but I really like Advance, and it's basically just
Yeah,
Advance.
it's just like worse advance. I guess it
I
doesn't take
mean,
a buy. I guess you're just trading it.
it doesn't take a buy,
Yeah.
And being able to gain any action card and not being cost restricted is sometimes useful.
That's true. Maybe I just haven't had the right games for it.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's worse than Advance in the sense that like Advance has the things where you just end the game because you have 4 buys and 4 useless actions or whatever. But Woodworkers Guild also has the best art of any of the cards, or at least my favorite art.
Just the pile.
It's a masterpiece. There's no other way to put it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is just impossible to figure out what's.
You could just spend a lot of time looking at it and just be more and more confused.
Oh boy, I'm just gonna leave it up in the middle in the video instead of. We'll just see whatever happens on the outskirt of Woodworkers Guild.
That sounds like a lovely video.
So we saw Fisherman Gatekeeper versus Gatekeeper Silver something. I don't know. Oh, this is way further along. I've missed a bunch of buys.
They've sort of got a random assortment of cards because this is basically just a random assortment of cards type of board.
Mm-hmm. Gatekeeper, yes or no? How do you feel?
I mean, if you hit 5, it's probably fine, is my opinion on Gatekeeper, I guess. Like, Contract is not inspiring me at all. I think Gatekeeper is probably better than Contract.
Look at this. Somebody's hit 10 and 2 buys.
I would buy a big masterpiece.
That's what we're seeing. 7 precious silvers. I feel like
It's
go ahead. Sorry.
the gatekeeper gets friendly here because it exiles the masterpiece.
Right. Yeah, that actually is really nice. Micha can also take a big masterpiece, though not as big. Micha going straight for provinces. I'll say it. I don't think that's crazy here at all.
No. Like they could hope to hit 9 here or something and get an even bigger masterpiece. I do think you want a masterpiece, or at least I would want one.
I guess you can just hope you get real lucky and hit the 8s over and over again and are able to salt at the end and hope that Sirusc draws like 6 and 12 on the hands.
Yeah, that's definitely valid. Or you could like wait for the $7 hand, which we saw there to get a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. So it's like Sirusc has just 4 here. Like the salt has got to be not good. What a vassal.
Yeah, I think you have to get some actions here so that you can score a little bit on the arch.
That's true, you can do that. I'm not sure where the count is to know what they should buy, but
I think Micha has 2 fishermen and 2 gatekeepers, and Sirusc just has 1 of. He's only scoring once.
oh, the Baron finds nothing. Rough collision. Guess it's not the worst thing ever. I mean, it was rough that you didn't get to play one of them earlier in the shuffle, but the hand itself is totally fine despite the collision. Oh no, it's not. That's not how Gatekeeper works.
Yeah, you would like 8.
Gatekeeper should just give the money up front. So now Sirusc can play. Wait. Yeah, Sirusc can play. Oh no, it's just action or treasure. I read Gatekeeper for probably the first time in months.
Very low on the ranking of card relevances.
Yep. Do you try with the Vassal? The odds are so bad, right?
Terrible odds. It's 1 in 6, 2 in 6.
Oh, they get to swap it for a Fisherman, though. That doesn't score points. I wonder if there was a swap that was point scoring.
Yeah, they could have swapped for Gatekeeper and that would have scored.
That would have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Sirusc should have swapped the Baron. I don't know what Sirusc's action situation is. Maybe the Baron's already scoring.
No, I mean the Baron is not. I would have swapped the Baron. Yeah, that seems very clear to me. And buying Duchy, I mean they could have bought a Gatekeeper there. It would have scored the same.
So we think Misha should really have 3 more points for sure.
Yeah.
And if they had salted, they would have 2 fewer. So they could have 1. They could be at 32 with the. I guess that doesn't help them too much.
Well, they could have had a clean more points just by taking Gatekeeper over Fisherman.
Right. I was also thinking that in conjunction with doing assault, if they would have been in a position to like just threaten it and a game end.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
that's what I meant. Yeah, not to consider whether to do the Gatekeeper thing. Like that just seems
right.
Clearly correct. So Sirusc still doesn't have 4 on this next hand, so Misha is going to get 2 more turns here. Oh, there's only 2 provinces or there's still 2 provinces anyway. I see Salt and just assume that it's a province dying, but that's silly. So we think that there probably should be that there probably should have been a Woodworkers Guild there for Sirusc. Also,
I'm not sure because I'm not sure that they have
2 of anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Does Misha have all of the fishermen? Or 5 of the fishermen?
Possibly.
So province is actually, unless there's a province was okay there. I mean, I can see the hand, but the issue with the duchy is that it doesn't actually put you you know, it doesn't really give you an out.
I mean, Misha does get to try scoring with Gatekeepers now, which is something. Nope. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to be it.
That is going to be it.
So, congrats to Sirusc on a well-played match. 4-0. Both our semifinals went that way. So, hopefully that is an indication that we'll have an exciting and competitive finals. But we'll see whenever that occurs. Thank you all for watching. Again, congratulations to Sirusc. Congratulations to Misha on advancing this far in the consolation bracket. And thanks everyone for watching, and thanks to the players for playing. And thanks to Sirusc for talking with me.
Yep, it was a pleasure. Thanks for listening, everyone.
All right, see y'all.